Self-storage is big business and the answer to our overcrowded homes.
Oh, gosh.
Bringing back some memories?
Yes.
But some have taken their storage hoarding too far.
It's not all mine, they're one or two else's.
Hanging on to things they don't see or need.
It's time to save now.
And it's costing them a fortune.
It's over £2,000 a year.
I need help. I'm in a desperate state.
I'm Aggie Mackenzie and I'm an expert in clearing junk and people's excess baggage.
You're paying to store storage.
I'll be asking hoarders to unlock the doors of their units,
It's just crazy.
empty out their stash,
You know it makes sense. I can't.
and choose to either keep it,
Keep to sell? No.
skip it, or sell it.
I despair.
Our antiques expert will then pull out any hidden gems
Anything between 15 and 20,000.
to take to auction
How did I have it?
and make some hard cash.
280 then.
In today's show, we meet two very different storage hoarders. One whose hoard contains unusually special memories,
Oh my gosh, I feel really privileged.
So that's my mum.
while the other has been hoarding in secret.
I hope my husband's not going to listen to this because I don't think he's too impressed that I've still got the unit.
Will either of them uncover any treasures to take to auction?
Sporting memorabilia is massive. Do you recognise him?
I do, Stanley Matthews.
Stanley Matthews?
Yeah.
Welcome to Storage Hoarders.
Hello and welcome to Storage Hoarders. I'm in Andover to help soothe two ladies of their hoarding headaches. It's time to declutter and downsize as I ask them to keep it, skip it or sell it.
Our first storage hoarder is Suzy Thomas and her sister Michelle. Suzy has spent over £5,000 storing possessions accumulated from 3 previous marriages. So what does she think of that?
The stuff I have in it is like a chain round my neck, a bit like Ebenezer Scrooge. The chain's getting heavier and heavier, and I'm dragging it along around my life because all my life is in this lockup.
Suzy lives in Lee-on-the-Solent on the south coast with her dog Lanson. She might look as if she hasn't a care in the world, but Sister Michelle knows all about her dark little secret.
She collects what she thinks is antiques of the future.
I collected the Spice Girl dolls. I've got my Smurfs. Sounds like I just collect toys, but I don't. Oh, I love you so much. I bought 2 of everything so I could store one and use one. Are you good boy? Are you naughty boy? Are you good boy?
They're all in boxes, they're all kept nicely because one day they might be worth something and be her family heirloom.
Suzy needs to downsize before the spiralling costs send her into debt.
My lockup has my Christmas tree in, so I go over there once a year to get my Christmas tree out and my Christmas decorations. So I'm probably paying thousands to store a Christmas tree.
Suzy has hung on to a lot of things for sentimental reasons. And although some items bring back positive memories, many are stopping her from moving on with her life.
The emotional stuff I hold on to in my lockup is mainly from my marriages, but also from my parents. I actually keep my mum's ashes in my lockup.
I think that will be harder actually sorting through and remembering rather than actually getting rid of things.
The past is in the past, and the past was just so long ago.
It sounds as if Suzy wants to do something about her hoarding problem. Can I persuade her to go through with the purge?
Now you two ladies are sisters, aren't you?
Yes.
And one of you has a storage unit here. Who is it?
That's me.
That's you.
Yeah.
So do you feel any great attachment towards anything you've got in there?
I feel a great attachment to everything I've got in there. It's my comfort blanket. It's like my whole life is in that lockup.
Michelle, do you think Suzy will actually be able to go through with this?
I'll make sure she does.
What do you have in storage here?
Just about everything, from toys to clothes. My mum, her ashes.
Really?
I keep them here as well, yes. So, yeah, a lot of things.
With your savings and the money that you made, have you got a plan about what you want to do with that money?
Well, depending on how much it was, there's a company that can make diamonds out of ashes. So I'd like to have a diamond made each for me and Michelle.
Well, that's good. I mean, you know, you've got something to aim for, haven't you? I think you might be ready for this.
I'd be too scared not to be with you here, Aggie.
Good. I'm glad I've got that effect on you.
I want to convince Suzy to shake her sentimental stash and downsize her hoard. Our next hoarder, Miranda Smith, has spent £4,500 on storage over the last 3 years. Miranda isn't convinced she's a genuine hoarder, more a victim of circumstance.
I'm not sure I'm a hoarder. I think being too sentimental is my problem.
Basingstoke has been home for Miranda all her life. She now lives in suburban happiness with her workaholic husband and 2 grown-up children nearby. She enjoys horse riding and spends a lot of time looking after her horses. But her storage unit is putting a strain on the finances.
I hope my husband's not going to listen to this because I don't think he's too impressed that I've still got the unit, but he understands. I think it's about £125 a month, so in 3 years you can work that one out.
Miranda grew up in the many pubs her parents and grandparents used to own.
Well, the building on the right here is what I remember as the Feathers Hotel when I was little, probably about mid-50s. My grandparents had this place. Brings back quite a lot of memories. Some of the items that I've probably got in storage probably came from here all those years ago, and hoping to find some of them and find out what they are and what I can do with them, really.
Many of the items she's inherited are the traditional pub leftovers from these memorable days.
I don't know what's in there. I might remember a few bits and pieces. I think there's some Babycham glasses. I remember copper ashtrays. It's absolutely crazy I've still got it all in there.
Among all that pub paraphernalia, I hope there are many valuable treasures stashed at the back of her unit.
So there's a lot of family history behind that door, is there?
I think there is, yes.
Do you feel sort of obliged to hang on to any of it?
Well, I did. Absolutely, that's the word. I did feel really obliged to hang on to it all. But as years have gone on, as I said, some of this I must have had now for 20 years, and it's just silly.
What does it feel like when you think about the stuff?
I think it'll be a relief to actually get rid of some of it, move it, open it, just make a decision.
So are you expecting to have any surprises when you look in?
Yes, I think there might be. I just, honestly, they've been there for so long. I think there probably will be a few surprises in there, yes.
So any money you make from the contents, have you got a plan for it?
Yes. I probably think that it will go to the grandchildren.
Yes, yeah. So, should we go and do it?
Yeah, lovely, sounds good to me.
We've met our hoarders in denial. It's now time to sort the treasure from the trash. Coming up, has Suzy's hoard been hiding some embarrassing secrets?
You're getting organised. What's going on here?
And Miranda reveals all about her glamorous granny.
Grandmother was quite flamboyant.
Oh, was she? Very glamorous, was she?
Welcome back to Storage Hoarders. I'm here in Andover where two hardened hoarders have spent thousands storing items they don't even see. Suzy Thomas got through over £5,000 in the last 3 years. She wants to clear out her unit and cut costs. While Miranda Smith has kept her storage unit an expensive secret from her family at a cost of £4,500. Later, our antiques expert will rifle through their stash and pull out a few gems to take to auction. I want to recoup some of the money they've spent storing stuff they don't actually need. First to face the truth is Suzy with her sister Michelle. Over the past 3 years, her belongings have been piling up here, gathering dust. It's now time for Suzy to unlock the memories from her past.
At least it's neat.
It is neat.
It is very full, but very neat.
So, yes.
In you go, then.
I have a feeling Suzy is holding on to items for sentimental reasons.
We gotta get this out. This is my first wedding. So there's something in there particularly that I want to see. Look, my 80s headdress still in the box. I think it went on. No, that was at the front, wasn't it, Cheryl? Do you remember? It came down the front and I had a veil like that, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was like that.
Yeah, I see it.
Do you remember? And then I had a veil on. But I mean, who would wear a headdress like this now? Oh my God, this headpiece was £54.50.
In
That was
1990?
In 1990, that would have been a lot of money.
Right, come on, put it away at the moment. We'll look at it in a
Where
minute.
can I leave my headdress on?
Leave your headdress on. We've got to get some more stuff out.
OK.
Suzy is wandering too far down recollection lane. Time to give her a bit of a push in the right direction.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, Aggie.
It's very neat in here. You've got so many boxes. What's in all these boxes?
I have my original Wham! Choose Life T-shirt in there, and I only kept that because I remember that Kylie Minogue, quite a few years ago, paid a lot of money for an original Choose Life. But in them days, deodorant was rubbish, so it used to leave the yellow marks underneath your arms, so I probably couldn't sell it to Kylie Minogue. She wouldn't want that, would she? Choose Life. Which is funny, because perhaps I should put that T-shirt on today, because that's what I'm doing. I'm choosing my life.
That's what it's all about today.
It is.
Choosing life rather than just being static and paralysed.
Yeah.
Well, if Suzy wants to choose a clutter-free life, I need her to move on from the past. Now I'm joining Miranda to help her face the music.
I'm very excited about seeing what's in here.
Oh, I'm a bit apprehensive.
Are you?
Yeah, just a bit. Wow.
Oh!
Yeah, it's not too bad, is
Oh,
it?
it's not too bad.
No,
Let's
could
go
be
in.
worse. Could be worse.
And
Yeah.
are they of people you know?
No, I think they're hunting scenes and things like that. Yeah, there we go.
Right. Preparing for the chase.
Prints, I think, but
Okay.
you know, there's a lot. There's about 12 of them or something.
Right.
Miranda's unit is a treasure trove of cardboard boxes and bubble wrap, and hopefully some exciting finds.
Miranda, this is an Aladdin's cave. It's
It is.
so exciting. It really, really is. I want to see everything out. I want to go through everything. So you
Okay.
carry on the good work and I'll be back
will.
and see you.
Okay.
Miranda clearly has a tough job ahead if she's determined to reduce this stack of memories and sort out her clutter. To help our hoarders downsize their units, I've asked them to sort their belongings into 3 categories. Keep it for the things they love, skip it for those items to throw out, and sell it for anything they think will bring in some cash. I've also included a charity bin for items that are too good to throw away. I've brought in some extra hands and found them the space they need to get tough with their stuff. Suzy's hoard looks like a neatly stacked storeroom of boxes, whereas Miranda is faced with enough sentimental stash to keep her down memory lane for days. They've only got a few hours, so must think straight and not hesitate. It's time to get sorting.
No more picnics for me.
One of my dad's many collections of glasses.
I'll leave that on top there because I want to take that black thing home with me.
Is that a magnifying glass or something?
Oh, sure, I found my Lanson glasses, my favourite champagne. They might be worth something.
The NatWest pigs. We had a whole box full of those. They belong to my children, but my husband knocked the box over, so they're not complete collections anymore.
Well, our storage hoarders are really tucking in. I want to see what's going on.
Ooh, Ooh, you're getting organised. What's going on here?
Sometimes I used to like to do a little dance. Twist this round like this.
Oh, yeah, get it going properly.
It seems Suzy is just a child at heart, and Michelle has unearthed some more of her toys.
Limited edition. Oh, look, there's some Spice Girls there.
Wow, which Spice Girl's that? Oh, posh.
All of them are there.
That's amazing. Can you remember how much you paid for each of them?
No, I can't remember.
I bet they weren't cheap.
No, nothing that I buy is cheap, Maggie.
Not that I know anything about this sort of thing, but I think they might be worth something. I'm sure somebody would want to buy these.
So should
Right.
I put that in there?
Put them in sale, definitely.
All of Suzy's neatly labelled and organised boxes hold special memories. But there's one box in particular I'd like to know more about.
Oh my gosh, I feel really privileged.
So that's my mum.
This is amazing. I've never seen this before. Thank you for showing me that.
Don't drop her.
I won't. So your idea of making them into
Diamonds.
diamonds,
I just thought that might be something nice that we can pass that down.
so it's a fantastic idea. So I think it'd be really interesting to find out a bit more about that,
Yeah,
don't you?
that would be lovely.
Synthetic diamonds have been made for many years, but only recently have people begun to create them from cremation ashes and hair of their loved ones. I've sent Suzy to find out how she can turn her mum's ashes into a very special diamond she'll be able to treasure. And to run her through the process is Maria Lee from Heart in Diamond.
What do you think is the most popular item that people have made?
Most certainly that would be the ring, something that they could wear every day, and by looking at the ring it would be a reminder of the person. Second most popular item would probably be a pendant, so that's something that people also choose.
My sister would probably have it made into a nose stud because she's got her nose pierced.
Okay,
So
that's most certainly unusual.
To turn ashes into a diamond, carbon is taken from the ashes and then heated at a high temperature under pressure. The result is a rough diamond crystal, which can then be cut and polished to your specification. So how much is it likely to cost Suzy to turn her mum's ashes into a sparkling keepsake?
The prices start for a mini pair of 2 diamonds in orange yellow colour at £1,100. And our most expensive option is probably a deep red colour diamond in the 2 carat weight option, and the price for that will be just under £12,000.
So will Suzy be investing any money she saves on storage in a diamond ring?
it is an expensive thing to do. I wish I'd done it a few years ago when I had a bit of money in my pocket, but it is something to look into for the future, definitely. You never know what's going to happen, do you? So to have a diamond made would be lovely.
Meanwhile, back at the storage unit, Miranda's getting back in tune with her childhood.
I remember that going round and round, the ballet dancer. I used to play with it a lot when I was little.
Well, maybe that's a keeper. But will Miranda be able to part with some of the many sentimental pieces belonging to her grandparents?
Golly, what is this?
I remember that being on my grandmother's sideboard.
Really?
Since when I was really tiny, and I sort of have a feeling it's probably my great-grandmother's. But those, I guess, have their tea and they tip it over and kept it warm.
I think if it's worth something, it's worth selling. But what about the rest of Granny's items?
Oh, costume jewellery.
Grandmother was quite flamboyant.
Oh, was she? Very glamorous, was she?
And she would have definitely worn things like that.
Have you got any pictures of your grandma?
I have. That would have been her during the day outfit, though.
The glasses and the fag.
Yes, with the paste jewellery.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Daytime wear.
Daytime wear. And that was the... that's where a lot of this will have come from.
Oh, gosh.
Which would have been in about 1955-ish, I think. Yeah.
Is it still there?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes. Doesn't look as good as it did, though, I don't think.
Sifting through Miranda's hoard and her granny's memorabilia is giving her plenty to reflect on.
What about this vanity set here?
I think it's my grandmother's. It's
glamorous
my mother's,
granny.
The glamorous granny, yeah.
Look, there's earrings in here as well. Do you remember them being on a dressing table?
I do.
And do you remember as a child using this mirror?
I used to play with them. She was really good, actually. She let me play with everything.
I mean, if this sort of thing went to auction, I have no idea how much it might get, but it could be a good few £100s. I don't know if it's real silver.
Yeah. It's very pretty, but I
know it's pretty, but...
Yeah. But is it going to go back in a box?
I know, exactly.
There's not much time left to finish separating the rest of their hoards. But thankfully, some difficult choices have been made. Suzy doesn't have much in her skip pile, so it's just as well she has a lot to sell.
And actually, I had put to sell, hadn't I?
Yeah.
Miranda has had a real rummage and has a lot of good items to get rid of. I don't think she's made a huge dent on her storage pile, but she hasn't been too sentimental about anything.
I've spotted something that could definitely go in the charity shop over there.
Our hoarders have made a great effort to downsize and clear out, but what about the elephant in Suzy's room?
What have you decided to do about Jumbo?
I love my Jumbo, but my flat isn't big enough for him, and I think that someone else will really love him. So I think charity shop, I think someone will really love.
She's talking sense.
Well done, Suzy. I think progress has been made. The next step to unearth the treasure from the trash and make some cash. Coming up, will the value of Suzy's items be enough to spice up her life?
It is the right time for these, and as I say, 90s stuff, very, very timely.
And Miranda has good reason to smile at auction.
Did we do well?
Didn't you do well?
Welcome back to Storage Hoarders. I've been helping 2 hoarders sort through their stuff so they can decide whether to keep, skip or sell it. To try and recoup some of the cost our hoarders have spent on storage, I've asked antiques expert Paul Hayes for help. He's been in the antiques business for years and there's nothing he hasn't seen. So I'm hoping he'll be able to spot the best of what Suzy and Miranda have to offer. First to get the Hayes treatment is die-hard hoarder Suzy.
So we've sorted through all our stuff, haven't we? I can't say there's a pile of antiques here, but there's quite a lot that you want to sell, isn't there?
Yes.
So I know that you've had a look through it. What do you think?
We have some jewellery items. Now you have some gold items here. We've got a 5-stone diamond ring and a wedding ring there. Do you know who those would have belonged to? Or?
They were our grandmother's, but we never met her.
OK, well, these are good items. That's a 22-carat wedding ring. This is 18-carat with diamonds. So a realistic auction estimate, 100, 150 for those 2, and those are quite nice. And what about Pegasus, the chandelier?
Yeah, I love the chandelier. It's beautiful, and it looked beautiful when it was up.
OK, well, there's certainly a decorative value in that. If you sort of said 50 to 100 on that, I mean, was it very expensive when you...
I can't remember how much I paid for it, to be honest.
So with some light shed on the value of Pegasus, what about the champagne flutes?
People buy these for a special occasion. They're nice, they're boxed and mint. They would make a nice present for somebody, those. And I think they're definitely a good sellable item for an auction. Does that sound all right to you?
Can I just say something?
Yeah, of course.
That bottle's not full up. I drank the champagne and then put the champagne bottle back in there.
Right, OK. Well, as a set of glasses, you've at least £25, £30 there anyway. So if we said sort of £25 to £40 for that little collection there.
Among the pieces Paul suggests to go to auction are 2 gold rings, one with diamonds, estimated at £100 to £150. The lovely Pegasus chandelier, which Paul reckons could go for £50 to £100. And the box of champagne glasses, estimated at £25 to £40. But finally, what about Suzy's Spice Girl and Smurf collection?
Do you know what? One of the biggest market leaders at the moment is nostalgia. People love to buy into their childhood. And you've got some Spice Girl collections here. I mean, did you ever meet them, or did you work with them, or was it something that you just like to collect?
No, I just bought them because I liked dolls.
Well, they're interesting. What's nice about them is that they are the official merchandise. The date from 1998, so they are of the height of the Spice Girls, if you like. There's definitely going to be buyers out there, but we have to agree that on a price you'd be happy with, and a price that somebody would be happy to.
That's good news. And the iconic blue Smurf toys?
And I must admit, I come across these Smurfs, and I was 7 years old again. Absolutely fantastic. And people do buy into that market. They have become collectible, and what you tend to find is that they become played with, and they become in various levels of condition. And what's nice, I've noticed about this one, it has its original astronaut helmet, and there is a big collector's market for them. So I think we need a specialist in that particular field to go through them. Does that sound all right with you?
Yeah. Smurf specialist. I never knew they existed.
He's about that big, he's blue and has a white beard.
To get the lowdown on Smurfs and Spice Girls, I've sent Paul and Suzy to meet toy expert Andy Adames at his hobby talk shop in Amersham. He'll be able to tell if there's any value in Suzy's toy collection and how best to sell them. This place is like travelling backwards in Toy Town. All our childhoods are here, neatly tucked away in boxes.
We've got the entire set of Spice Girls, but they're from different series. It is a shame you haven't got the complete set of On Stage, because if you did, that sort of kicks it up a notch. These are from, I think, around the first year that they really hit it big. And of course, the other great thing about these is that they are still in the boxes, and they have still got all the accessories. So you've kept them in a really good condition. Obviously, they were just at the Olympics. They say it's the last time they're ever going to perform together, who knows? So you'd probably at the moment be looking at around £20 to £25 each.
Not a bad price for a bit of spice. But what about Suzy's other dolls, Kylie and Brittany?
Kylie looks amazing. I mean, if you look at the likeness of her face, that is Kylie Minogue. It's very clever. And of course, we've got Brittany there as well. She's in her original blister pack and everything there as well. I mean, what's the going rate for those?
Kylie, I think, is probably in the £20 to £25 region. Brittany, I think, is probably still around the £10 to £15.
So she's well over £100 in those as well?
I do believe so, yes. So it is the right time for these. And as I say, 90s stuff, very, very timely.
Well, the plastic princesses of pop will fetch a pretty penny. It's now time to turn the spotlight on those blue Smurfs. These figures were all the rage in the 70s when you could buy them from petrol stations. They became huge, led by Father Abrahams, and went on to make cartoons and even top the singles charts across Europe.
There's a big, big Smurf market out there.
Okay.
The funny thing about Smurfs is that there were a lot of knockoff Smurfs, obviously. So your originals all have the Peyo logo stamped on them, which is the creator.
So they'll have that on the bottom.
They will indeed.
Copies won't have that.
Yeah, they will indeed.
Okay.
And the earliest ones were made in Germany. So let's see. These guys are made in West Germany.
Peyo.
So yep. So these are definitely authentic and very early. Now, these have been played with. I've got a little bit of yellowing and a few scratches here and there. And of course, they came with all sorts of accessories and play sets as well. Yeah. Those are very valuable and very sought after now. If you had the Smurf space station, for example, it came with a space rocket.
And you were telling me about this, weren't you?
Yeah, we chose the house, not the space rocket.
Pity you didn't go for the space rocket.
I know.
Yeah.
I've heard.
I don't think I've ever seen one. What sort of value would a space rocket be?
Space rocket set incomplete without the box, I've seen do around £200 recently.
Wow.
But that said, even though the sets can go for sort of £200 odd, individual figures can as well. The one who really interests me, however, is this guy here, Mechanic Smurf. Now, Mechanic Smurf is wearing green overalls.
Okay.
Orange overalls Mechanic Smurf is usually worth about £250. but you could get very lucky with him.
He could be a real rarity then.
He could indeed. I'm very intrigued to see how much he goes for.
So roughly, taking a few of your values there, she could have a couple of hundred, roughly, in that, you know, hopefully, in that little lot.
So now Adam has had a good look at Suzy's toys. How does he think she should sell them?
You really want to sell direct to a consumer, someone who actually wants these because they want to own them, not somebody who wants to flip them on for a profit.
Yeah. These are fantastic. I mean, I can remember those. I would love to have some of those, actually. I think they're great memories. Are you happy with that, Suzy?
Yes,
you got some good advice there, I think.
Yeah. I'm still quite interested about the green pant.
Green pants mechanic Smurf.
Yeah.
There we go. I think he works down the road, doesn't he? Let's go and have a chat to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice to meet you, Andrew.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, come on then, Suzy.
It's been very interesting. I didn't know that there were people that specialised in talking about Smurfs and Spice Dolls, so it's been fun. I think that I will sell them online now. I may as well now they're out of the lockup, and I'm downsizing my lockup. Now is probably the time to do it.
It certainly is, and it's also auction time. Our intrepid hoarders have come to the auction rooms in Hertfordshire.
At £65.
Suzy has a small selection of items to go under the hammer, but what I want to know is, has she sold her toys?
I haven't actually got rid of any of the toys as yet, because I'm still not familiar with selling on the internet. So they're actually sitting in my bedroom in the box still. I know, but
Michelle, did you not talk to her?
We are going to get organised, aren't we?
Look at the face.
Yeah.
I know, I will.
I hope it's not the same story with the other items Paul recommended Suzy take to auction.
So listen, is there anything you brought to auction today?
Yes, I bought the chandelier.
What's the reserve? I bet it's really high.
I think it was 150.
150? What's the estimate? 50?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I hope you haven't got a bidding card.
I know, I did have a look around first, just in case.
You can have a look, but you can't buy, OK?
OK, yes, fine.
I get the impression Suzy's not that bothered whether her items sell or not. Let's see what today's auctioneer, Stephen Hearn, thinks.
The certainty amongst Suzy's entry is the wedding band and also the eternity ring. With the gold trade as it is at the present time, that is a certainty that will sell, and sell quite well.
So, how would Suzy feel if the pieces did go?
Do you want to sell anything at auction today?
I would like to sell something.
She's got a serious face on.
It would be very interesting to see my things sold and to feel excited about it, especially if the prices went up and up and up.
The auction's about to begin and the fun starts now.
Lovely.
Good luck, but we'll
Thank
see.
you.
First up is the Pegasus-style chandelier with its inflated reserve. So, will it be setting the bidding alight?
There you are.
OK.
Chandelier, 150 for it, 100 for it, 80 for it. 90, 100, are you? 110, sir. One more.
Oh,
no
my
more.
goodness me.
£110 then and 20 anywhere there. No, sir. At £110.
Not sold. It's not sold.
That's a shame. Looks like Suzy's reserve was just too high on the day. Next under the hammer is the collector's box of champagne flutes that Paul valued at £25 to £40.
Now, I got a bit excited here when I saw a bottle of champagne until I found it was empty.
Well, my dog's called Lanson after my glasses.
So,
It was my favourite champagne, yeah.
hold on, pay attention.
£50 for it. 30, 20, 2, 5, 8, 30. Going down then at £30 and 2 now. Are you 5 and 8 and 40? No? No, sir? OK, then, at £38. Thank you.
It's not sold.
Oh, again, that's another piece she'll be taking home. It appears that Suzy's reserves are just too high. And with her grandmother's gold rings having a reserve of £150, it's not looking too good at the moment.
110 I've got. Are you 20, sir? 130, 40, 50. You're out then. 150's got it.
I don't even know what they're doing.
Yes, they do know what they're doing.
No, I said I don't know.
Yeah. Well, listen, pay attention.
For 170? No, she says. OK, then at 165. Thank you very
OK,
much.
it's sold for 165. The ring.
Oh, the ring, 165. Oh, brilliant. Didn't you know what they were selling? No, that's why I kept asking.
Oh, come on, Suzy. Take note, your grandmother's rings have just made you £165. However, I've got a feeling Suzy won't be too concerned about taking her other unsold items back home.
So, ladies, most people after an auction might be disappointed that they hadn't sold most of what they brought to auction. But I imagine you feel the very opposite.
I'm quite happy to take back the things I didn't sell.
I'm not surprised you are. Michelle, how did you feel about it?
Yeah, she doesn't really need to take the glasses home.
Or the chandelier, that massive chandelier.
No, I don't know. I love that chandelier.
You have wasted my time today. You know this, Suzy, don't you?
We sold the rings.
You have. You made quite good money on the rings, didn't you?
Very pleased with that,
£165. Yeah, that is a good result.
Yes.
So, after commission, Suzy has made nearly £150 at auction. She's also managed to close down her unit, so can add to that her yearly storage cost of £1,584, which means she's now richer to the tune of £1,732.50.
So, Suzy, how have you found the whole experience?
It's been great. I just think of it as an experience because it's just been a lovely journey.
What do you think you've learnt from it?
If you pack your storage stuff in better boxes, you can fit more in your storage unit.
I just hope Suzy can resist the temptation to hoard in the future. Coming up, does a certain signature spell pound signs for Miranda?
Stanley Matthews.
And it's a signed photograph.
And will Grandma's items be coining it in at auction?
Loads of interest. I'm straight in here at 180, 190 I'll take, 180, 190.
Welcome back to Storage Hoarders, where I'm helping two ladies declutter and downsize their hoard and hopefully make some cash along the way. Earlier, we met Suzy Thomas, who has neatly stored a lifetime of memories and memorabilia in her storage unit. She wanted to declutter and save the money she spent on storage.
Oh, my favourite slippers with a hole in them.
She had success at auction and emptied her unit, making her over £1,700 better off.
150's got it.
Now it's time to catch up with Miranda Smith. She's not seen a lot of what was in her storage unit for years and has unearthed plenty of memories of her childhood growing up in a pub.
Oh dear.
Our antiques expert Paul Hayes has been rifling through Miranda's mix of old pub memorabilia and her grandmother's belongings and has stumbled across some interesting pieces.
You have some silver items. This is a typical Edwardian brush and comb set or dressing table set. Whose is this?
That would have been my grandmother's. I remember playing with that as a child. She was very tolerant of me, I think.
Well, it's very elegant. It is solid silver. There are your hallmarks there. And it dates from the turn of the century. And it's what I regard as the best design. If I show you this one here, it's the swags and the bow. There's the bow there with the sort of ribbons. Typically Edwardian, 1900, 1910. There's 100, 120 pounds just in those little bits there.
I want to know what Paul thinks of Granny's kettle we discovered earlier.
That's a spirit kettle. And the idea is that if you drank a lot of tea, like you did in our house, you'd have a tea service, but you'd have the spirit kettle constantly with hot water. And this is actually a little burner. And you'd set fire to the burner and that would keep your water hot. So that's at least £50 to £80 on
Wow.
that.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, amazing.
So what other items has Paul spotted?
These are some great original photographs of some of the boxing greats. And we've got Jack Gardner there, who's the heavyweight champion. And these are originals. How have you come across these?
I think mostly my grandfather went to boxing dinners in London.
Well, sporting memorabilia is massive. From the boxing, we go to football, and I think this is probably the most collectible out of your sporting memorabilia, is this fella here. Do you recognise him?
I do, Stanley Matthews.
Stanley Matthews?
Yeah.
And it's a signed photograph.
It is, yeah.
Well, he was known as the Wizard, or the Magic Dribbler. You know, he's such a following, really. He played for Blackpool, he played for Stoke-on-Trent, and he played up until he was 70 years old. So I think he's really collectible.
Yeah.
So I think on his own, he's sort of £60 to £100.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Does that sound all right to you?
Yeah, definitely.
The pieces Paul suggests Miranda takes to auction are a solid silver dressing set estimated at £80 to £120, a salt glazed spirit kettle estimated at £50 to £80, a collection of sporting memorabilia and signed boxing photographs estimated at £80 to £120. Also going to auction are a large collection of pubware and other brewery items estimated at £150. A set of weighed ceramic piggy banks estimated at £30 to £50. And some of her father's coin collection estimated at £100. But there's one final item belonging to Miranda's grandmother that Paul has really taken a shine to.
Now, I've got the feeling you've come from a large house or large property. This screen dates from the 1920s and a type of a room divider. I mean, what a nice item that is.
My grandmother had quite a big house, I think. And I remember seeing that in her bedroom.
Well, it's a very decorative item. It can be classed as a dressing screen, so you can get dressed behind it. But the nice thing is it's been decorated with chinoiserie, which is Chinese-style decoration. There you go. But basically, the whole thing is hand-painted.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to do, actually, maybe try and take that somewhere that took a shine to it. And I think you could do quite well.
OK.
To find out more about Grandmother's screen, I've sent Paul and Miranda to Orchid Furniture in Hampshire to meet expert Gemma Page, who could have the answer. This place is a treasure trove of all things Oriental, and if anyone can reveal the secrets and value of the screen, it's Gemma.
So is this actually a dressing screen then, designed to be undressed behind? That's the idea?
Yes, yeah, that's definitely the idea. In Chinese homes, to have a dressing screen would have symbolised that the person was wealthy or of high standing, or both. The screen itself looks more Western in design.
Yes.
And the materials that have been used, such as the painting, the hand painting, which is very Chinese in design, is on paper, whereas the Chinese would tend to paint directly onto wood on Chinese screens.
We're looking at a European screen, so 1920s.
Yeah.
Sort of. So this being a Chinese style, I mean, the painting does look extremely Oriental. Would it have been a Chinese person who would have done this, or would it have been just an artist?
I've no idea, but certainly somebody that has wanted to give a message, which they always do with this sort of decoration.
Yes, tell us what message.
Well, the message that I can see here is bamboo is one of the winter plants, and that represents longevity and peace. The big pink flowers, those are blossom, which are also a symbol of good fortune. And I suspect Paul can probably add a few things that I can't, because I think that's the end of my knowledge about it.
Well, they are very symbolic, and you have to read into the symbols. I mean, I do believe that two birds together symbolise a long and happy marriage or a union. Does that sort of fit in with your grandma? Do you think it could have been a wedding present?
Really, like yeah, I don't know. I mean, she had 3 children. She lived into her 90s, and we've been fortunate to have, long lives and happy times. So yes, and
so it's done its job.
Yeah, it has. So it's really interesting, actually.
Yeah. So would this be the sort of thing that you would have in your showroom, or would it be in European? Would that not be something that you would buy yourself?
We wouldn't buy it because we buy everything directly from China, from source. We haven't had an awful lot of call for screens, and certainly the ones that we find in China, and this may be why, they are terribly expensive.
The best bit would be to maybe put it through auction and see if we can get a couple of interior designers who take a shine to it.
I'm not disappointed it's not original. I actually never really thought it was. So I think the next move is I think it's going to go to auction. So I'm just thrilled with knowing a lot more about it, really.
We know it's not a long-lost Ming piece from the Chinese dynasty, and I think it's worth maybe £80 to £150 as an auction estimate, and I think that's where it'll go.
We've now come to the auction rooms in Chiswick to see if Miranda has decided to put her grandmother's Chinese-style room divider up for sale.
Have you got a reserve on it?
Yes.
And how much is that, do you know?
It's probably about £120, I think.
Uh-huh.
I'd be quite happy to take it home, really.
So you're feeling optimistic about your items being sold today?
I don't mind either way, actually. If they go and people want them, then that's great. That would be really lovely. If they don't, then that's fine also. The whole experience is fun, so it's nice, yeah.
OK,
Yeah.
oh good. Well, that's
I
a
don't
good
mind.
attitude. So any way it goes is fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I could be taking it all home. Who knows?
Well, I really hope she doesn't. So what does auctioneer William Rouse make of Miranda's lots?
Miranda, I think, is possibly the most interesting collection of lots in the sale today. She's got a few things, including some boxing ephemera and some NatWest pigs, which are always collectible. The Edwardian screen is one of those things which it rather depends who's here on the day. They're quite practical objects if you've got a room that you want to divide into two. I don't know, we'll see. It'll probably do all right.
Well, time now for the auction. I wish you all the best.
Thank you very
Good
much.
luck.
Lovely, thanks.
Kicking off the auction, it's the signed Stanley Matthews photo and the collection of sporting memorabilia.
Me at £45.48 anywhere. At £45. 48 in the red, 50 nearer to me. With me then at £60. 65, thank you. You're going to buy it at £65, all done 65.
All right, the last minute.
Well, Miranda seems happy with £65. Let's see if her grandparents' collection of pub memorabilia can keep the smile on her face.
I don't want to take this home.
Whole mixed lot here.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
Very compact. 40 I'm bid, thank you. 45 I'll take. 45, 50,
There's a lot of
55,
stuff there.
60. £60 there then at 60. Anybody else? I can sell it then. It's here to be sold at £60 in the room. It's going to be sold for £60. I'm going for 60.
£60 is well below the estimate, but it still adds a bit of brass to the total. Up next is the Chinese-style screen that Miranda is very fond of. Let's see if it will make its reserve of £120.
A couple of people seem to have viewed this.
We've all viewed that.
This is a bit
I'm
more.
straight in here at
Is Miranda having second thoughts about her grandmother's screen?
£100, 110 I'll take. At £100, 110, 120. 120, I'll bid, 120 for the screen. Anybody else then? At 120, it's going 120.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Wow.
I think Miranda is sad to see the screen sold. Let's hope it goes to a good home. Next up, grandmother's silver dressing set with a reserve of £120.
£95 with me at 95, 100, 110 with me, 120 in the room, at 120 in the room, £120 I'm selling it then, 120 it goes.
It's brilliant smell. It's really good. It's really good.
Miranda's grandmother's lots are proving very popular. I wonder if the teapot will brew up some interest.
Is it worth £55? 55 I'm bid, 60, 65, £65 that at 65, 70 I'll take, £65 with me at 65, nobody, £65 with me then, sorry.
It hasn't sold.
Take it home.
Yes.
Such a shame. She'll be taking that one back home. Now it's time for her dad's Franklin Mint coin collection. Miranda managed to find more coins and has added them to the sale. And with a reserve of £200, the collection has sparked a lot of interest from our bidders.
Everybody seems to have viewed these and everybody seems to have got loads of interest. I'm straight in here at 180, 190 I'll take, 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 220 with me at 220, 230, 240, 250, 260,
Oh, wow.
270,
Where's this
280,
going?
390, 300, 320, 340, 360, 380, 400, 420 is my last, 440 in the room. 440 in the room it is then. Anybody else then? At 440, it's here at 440.
Well done, Dad.
470.
Is that it?
Yes.
Did we do well?
Didn't you do well?
That's amazing. Miranda's coins have sold for more than double the reserve. And with Miranda's piggy bank selling for £20, that's 6 out of 7 items sold. What a great day at auction for Miranda.
Amazing. Well, that was a bit of excitement, wasn't it?
Certainly was, yes. Yeah,
Oh,
it
my
was wonderful.
goodness. You were really
Wonderful.
fired up.
I was. It's very exciting.
Everything sold apart from the kettle.
Salt glazed kettle.
which actually doesn't sound you too unhappy about.
I'm not unhappy about that at all. At the moment, it can go back on the sideboard where it used to live when we were little.
And what about the coins? I mean, that was a
yeah.
big surprise, wasn't it?
It was really. I'm just glad that it's achieved more in the realms of probably what Dad had paid for them, really.
Yes.
I think, because he did love them. So
I know, it was almost a
nice.
tribute to your dad,
It was,
wasn't it?
yes, that's how I felt, yeah. And the little surprise for you,
What's
I've actually cleared out the unit.
You have cleared out
I
that
have.
unit?
It's empty.
Well, that's fantastic news. So after commission, Miranda's made nearly £760 from the sale of her items at auction. And she can add to that the yearly saving on her storage unit of almost £1,650, which means she's sitting pretty to the tune of nearly £2,500.
So would you say that you have enjoyed Storage Hoarders experience?
I certainly have. Yes, it's been really nice. I feel a slight sense of relief that actually it's kick-started me into action to empty the unit.
So your storage days are over?
Oh, I hope so, yeah. I'd hope so. I'd hate to let my children have to do all this, so yeah, I think so.
I'm so pleased that Suzy and Miranda have managed to make some proper decluttering progress today and sell some unwanted items for hard cash. Join me, Aggie Mackenzie, next time on Storage Hoarders.